Welcome to the Meet the Team podcast. I'm Brady Jolly, and I'm with my friend Anthony Roundo. We're just going to get to know you a little bit today, man. Chat a little bit. Thanks for being on.
Thanks for having me.
So why don't you start just personal life, where you were raised, where you live, what you like to do for fun, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, so I grew up in like the Cincinnati side, kind of towards Anderson Township area. Then moved to Eastgate when I was a little bit older. Went to high school at McNick up in Anderson Township area.
McNick, that's
Yeah.
what's the mascot?
Rocket.
The Rockets.
Yeah.
McNick Rockets.
The Rockets.
Right?
Yeah.
Sweet. Cool.
Cool mascot. But yeah, played baseball there. Was planning on going to college. Went to college for a semester for physical therapy, actually. That was right when COVID started. And then it was all online, so I was like, I don't know if this is for me. So Ben Lindsley, actually, the sewer install over here, he kind of brought me over and was like, this is what you could do. This is what I do every day. I love it. So I became a drain tech over here. Loved it from the second I started.
That was the drain squad back.
Yep.
That was right when
Drain
we started
squad
the
back
drain
in the
squad.
day. So
You were
yeah,
one of the originals for the drain department. That was cool.
Yeah.
So backing up, where did you go to college?
I went to UC for a semester.
Cool. So baseball guy, played baseball in high school, right? And is that how you knew Ben?
Yeah, so Ben played baseball with my brother, actually. So since I was like 10 years old, probably, he was playing baseball with my brother. So I've been around him for a while.
You got the baseball hair, dude. You got
Tried
the
to,
baseball
yeah,
hair. You
tried
still
to.
Got it.
I got to put the hat on. That way you can actually see
Nice.
it good.
It's good. I think you do got the best hair in the company right now.
I got best hair at that one meeting.
Yeah.
That we had to be the leader for.
A couple
so.
guys coming after the title, but I
know.
think you're good.
Aaron's coming for me.
I know.
Getting that
I
firm.
seen the flow. Cool. All right. So then, so you came on the drain department.
Yeah.
What was that like?
I was, it's kind of a humbling experience, I would say. You're starting from the bottom, literally playing in poop all day. So it's kind of fun, though, because you're helping customers out. It's something I never experienced when I was a kid as far as a sewer backing up, which is something you never should experience. But it was kind of fun being able to help the customers out, especially like the older people that couldn't move around. You get them to be able to flush their toilet again and then hopefully get them to repair their sewer at some point.
Yep. Okay, so then you moved out of town a little bit.
Yeah.
Right? And just tell us about that. What was going on at that time?
Yeah, so I moved to Arizona and did some plumbing out there. I actually switched from being just a drain tech to a service plumber out there and also ran cameras. So kind of what I do here now, do camera inspections, looked at what the problem was, which I kind of liked a lot more than just being a drain tech. I actually got to see what was wrong with the pipe, kind of show the customer and be like, this is what we can do so you don't have to call me again.
Yep.
So that was pretty fun. And then in Florida, I did the same thing, service plumber, cameraed the sewer lines, which I enjoyed a lot different environment than Arizona, but was by the beach, so I couldn't complain about it.
Can't complain
Yeah.
about that. So why don't you just explain like the whole process from the time the customer sewer backs up, like when you were a drain tech, what that's like, what the drain techs do, and then what you do when you come into the home.
Yeah, so pretty much, somebody's drain backs up, they call us, Ronnie or Drew comes out to them, snakes out their sewer for them, hopefully gets it to where the water drops a little bit, and then usually Ronnie or Drew will call me, and they'll be like, hey, we got a problem going on. This lady's sewer's backing up. It shouldn't be. So then they call me out there. I show up, kind of talk to the customer about everything. We get them down. We look at the camera, put the camera in the sewer line, and then check it out from there, whether it's roots, collapsed, cracked, something like that. Figure out what's going on, mark it, and then kind of go over the options. Usually there's kind of two options for them. You can either dig it up or we can do trenchless repair and shoot a liner through it. So kind of go over the options, see what fits their lifestyle best, and then get the repair done. And hopefully they never have to see us again for a big repair like that, and we can just kind of do maintenance.
No doubt. Yeah, it's cool that you had the experience as a drain tech. You know, a lot of sewer advisors don't have that.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, they don't have that experience. So I think it's really good experience to see, like, you know, when you got to unclog it, what that's about, and then even now you offering permanent solutions. It's kind of cool at your age, young dude who's already had that experience. It's really good. So you've been with us back from Florida now for what, a year?
Yeah, right about a year I've been back, so yeah, I'm loving it.
And then the first time you came on was what, like 2021?
Yeah, it's like 2021, not fresh out of high school, but pretty much fresh out of one semester of college, so yeah.
Yep. So tell us, just like from Jolly's perspective, what's changed the most, do you think, from the company, about the company since the first time and now since you've came back?
So one thing that hasn't changed is like the family environment. So that's one reason why I came back and why I really wasn't thinking about anywhere else over here is the family. One thing that has changed pretty big is probably the scale of the company, I would say. Like when I was here, it was a lot smaller, I would say the sewer department, and now it's huge. Same with HVAC was just starting out when I was here first, and now we're out here helping everybody in Northern Kentucky and Cincinnati with their HVAC systems. So
Yep.
I would say the size, and then all the guys have been here for a long time. So
What are some of your favorite parts about working at Jolly?
honestly, the people coming in here every day, you can talk to pretty much anybody. Most companies aren't where we can come here and just talk to the owner of the company and sit down and have a normal conversation. I feel comfortable texting you anytime, calling you. So talking to the people, it's a lot more supportive. Other companies, especially in the role that I'm in, are more competitive as far as they don't want to see you do that good. It's kind of like I want to do the best. Hopefully everybody else doesn't do as good as me. As here, it's like, here's what's working for us, what we can do better to help the customer. Everybody's just trying to do the best for the company and the customer. So it's a lot different than most companies just trying to make money.
Yeah, no, that's cool, man. I think you guys have such a good team.
Yeah, for sure.
Team is
Yeah,
just awesome.
the sewer team's
To
crazy.
your point, we've had that. You know, we've had cycles where it's like, man, our sales guys aren't getting along, or our installers aren't getting along, and like, man, that makes it tough. So when we have a group of guys like we do now in the sewer department, and you know, you're a huge part of that, who get along, help each other out. Sales guys want the best for each other.
100%.
Installers want the best for each other. Install and sales like each other. They work collaboratively. Like, man, what an awesome thing we got going. So thanks for being a part of that. I think it's really good. I want to go back to the college thing. We hear that story over and over again, right? People coming out of high school, and we all do it. What should we do? Let's just go to college.
Yeah.
You don't know. That's kind of the go-to, right? And then maybe this isn't for me. I want to get into the trades.
Yeah.
Talk me through your mindset through that time, why you make that decision to come into the trades, and just like what it's meant to your life.
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, when I was in college, physical therapy is kind of the time when it was changing from where you need to be there for like 4 years to like 5 or 6 years. And then I was kind of looking at pay wise versus time commitment, how much I'm going to be spending on college. And I was kind of evening out, and I was like, for me, it's not really going to be worth it. I kind of want to jump in and start my adult life a lot sooner. So then I started looking into the trades. I was looking at being an electrician at first, doing union electrician, but my cousin did that. I applied for that, but they didn't have any spots open at the time. So then I looked at plumbing because Ben was a plumber. So I kind of looked into that and kind of just did the full deep dive investigation into it, saw what I could make in the future, how long it took to get into it. And I kind of talked to him and seen it as like a lot shorter path to do something that could be a really good career in the long run. So I kind of jumped into plumbing. And
How old are you now?
I'm 22, about to be 23.
So, man, and I use you as an example all the time when I'm talking about people, why they should get in the trades, young people. You know, here you are, 22, 23 years old, and you got an awesome job in sales. You know, sales is great because you control your own destiny. You know,
For sure,
it's about performance.
100%, yeah.
And it's one of the highest earning type of positions in our industry, you know. It's kind of hard to get into. You know, most of the sales guys you look at are a lot older than you typically. But, you know, just through hard work and determination of knowing exactly what you want to do, you went and found that. And, you know, it's really cool. It's a good spot to be in, especially for a guy your age. So I think you're an example of what it can turn into. What would you tell somebody that's coming out of high school, doesn't really know what they want to do and might be considering the trades?
Usually what I tell people, because I got cousins that are younger and just friends in general that are younger, I usually just tell them, like, if you don't know what you're doing, don't waste your money on college. There's no point to spend all this money if you don't know what you're doing. Like, I spent like $5,000-$6,000 on a semester of college for no reason pretty much at this point. Yeah. But if you don't know what you're doing, just kind of dive into the trades. Some people, it's not for everybody. Some people aren't going to like it, so you might not like it or you might love it. In my case, I loved it, and I've been here for 4 years doing trades and make good money compared to what I would have made, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. So
yeah, no, it's great, man. So your job is challenging because you're going to somebody's house who thinks that they have this little drain backup, and it might cost $90 or up to $200 to unclog it.
Yeah.
sometimes just to find out that they have this really bad issue under their house in the drain line that they've never even really thought about. Most people don't think about drains, right?
Yeah.
And then you've got to be the person to tell them, hey, you have a major issue. This could cost upwards of $15,000, $20,000, $25,000. How do you have that conversation with customers on sometimes one of their worst days that they've had to ease their pain and find them a permanent solution?
Yeah, so I would say in my situation, yeah, it is hard breaking that news to somebody. I mean, nobody expects to call the plumber and for a clogged sink or a clogged toilet and be like $20,000 in the hole in a day after we leave. So it's a tough conversation to have with people. The way I do it, I kind of just look at everybody like if they're my grandma or my parents or something, because nobody in my family's ever had a sewer backup. I mean, they've had clogged drains and stuff, so nobody's dealt with like out of nowhere it's $20,000, but it's not something that should ever happen, and that's kind of just a conversation I have with them. I'm like, did you ever have a backup when you were a kid? Most of them are like, no, we didn't. And I was like, you should never have a backup. This is what we need to do to fix it. It's kind of a lot of companies, as far as my role, it's more a sales pitch to a customer. I try and make it more of an experience and kind of just have the customer tell me what they want. That way it kind of removes the pressure and the kind of the getting pushed into a sale aspect of it, so they kind of feel more comfortable. And at the end of it, it's not like they're like crying that they're spending $20,000. It's more like this needed to happen. Let's get it fixed.
It's a masterful skill. You know, we talk about the trades. A lot of people think it's like actually the nuts and bolts of going out there and doing the work. Obviously, a huge part of it, but the skill of being able to connect with a customer, show empathy, you know, get on their level, know that they're going through a hard time. I mean, that's hard when you're going to 20 jobs a week, right?
For sure.
You're seeing this problem. You've seen this problem 100 times in the last couple months. They're seeing it for the first time. They never even knew it was possible.
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot of our training is on soft skills, you know, personal skills, communication. Talk about that, like how since you started and like learning what that's like, learning the service system that we run. Like, what have you liked about that? What have you related to? How's that helped you in what you do?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as far as here, I love that it's more customer oriented. Every other company I've ever been at, I mean, they're good with customers, but it's more been, here's the numbers we need you to meet for sales every month, every day, all this. And we kind of got to get away from that and get more towards the customer experience. And I think once you get the customer experience down and having the customer happy all the time, it kind of, everything just follows. And that's why you see Jolly so successful, is just they take care of the customers, and just success follows that. So
Yep. No doubt. So, you know, we talk a lot about our mission, vision, and values.
Yeah.
Not to put you on the spot. Hopefully you can remember some values, but what is there a value that resonates with you?
I would say usually like win the day is probably something I always strive for, as far as not just myself, but other people. So even though I do sewers, we have other departments like plumbing and water cleanup. So I try and, even if I'm at somebody's house for just a backup, kind of spread the word about everything, because you never know if somebody's had a bad HVAC system that they need replaced and that they just were calling other companies because they didn't know Jolly did something, and then just helping other people out. So whether a plumbing guy comes in here and they need help as far as talking to customers, stuff like that, just helping people out and being the best person I can.
Yeah, we talk about that all the time about you, man. Like the managers here, you're in the Hall of Fame for cross department leads. You know, you're always, you know,
try and spread the love a little bit.
Great customer service too, right? It's good for the company, good for you, good for the customer. It's a win all the way around. So that's really cool. Good. All right. So maybe not so much now, but when you were definitely service plumbing out in Arizona, when you were doing drains, I'm sure you found yourself in some tight spots, crawl spaces, attics, you know, just some nasty spots, right? When you're in like a crawl space, what's the last thing that you want to run into?
I'd probably say a snake or a mouse for sure. Like I'm cool with the insects. I know mouse sounds stupid, but like I'm cool with insects. Like a spider could crawl on me, I don't care. Like big spider stuff like that doesn't bother me. But like if I seen like a snake, or like my biggest fear in a crawl space is just like looking out and seeing eyes, like little glowing eyes, and I'll be like,
you don't want that.
I'll be out immediately. Like there's been situations with crawl spaces where I'm like, we might need to get somebody else out here. I was like, not having it. But it's definitely different. Service plumbing, they got to get in tight spots. Luckily now I'm kind of in more of a spot I don't have to like get into those spots as much, which I'm thankful for. But definitely see some stuff all
No
the
doubt.
time. Yeah.
What about in drains? You ever seen anything crazy in a drain?
I mean, not too crazy. Recently, I actually saw a lizard in a drain, though. And
Really?
yeah, in somebody's drain, I saw a lizard. So that was pretty different. I was down scoping the sewer, and it's like 50 feet into the sewer, and there's just a lizard in there. I was like, what is this? I've never actually seen something like that. I've heard people seeing snakes, but
It's
that was the
crazy.
first.
Yeah, I think that's a cool thing about your job. Like, most salespeople they have to like explain everything in depth, and
Yeah.
obviously there's part of that to you guys. But you're literally with a camera showing them like, look, this is a big ball of roots, and this is why your sewer backed up,
Yeah.
or this is shifted and water can't go through. Like you have it's a really good benefit there
Oh,
to
yeah.
have that.
100%.
Talk about the process of like how we like to get the customers involved and have them looking at the sewer. What's the difference between doing that and then just having to go up and explain everything you just saw?
Yeah, so like you said, that's the nice part about my job. I'm not just like selling people stuff all day long, giving them a sales pitch. With our cameras, the nice thing is I got my camera, I got my monitor, and then I got my iPad. So usually I'll hand the customer my iPad and just be like, this has a clearer view of what we're looking at. You can look at this. It's not dirty like my monitor is, and then we can look at what's going on. And usually, I mean, removing the sale out of it, I kind of just camera it and tell them, like, I know what's going on already. I see this every day. So when you see something that's not perfectly round and smooth, let me know, and we'll kind of go over what's going on. Because realistically, even if it's old pipe, you want it to look like PVC on the inside and smooth. So I just tell them if you see roots, cracks, anything like that, point it out. That way we can mark it in the video and then go over how to fix it.
Perfect. Yeah, that's great. Okay, talk about obviously, like you said, two options. You got
Yeah.
dig the sewer up, repair it. It's the old school way of doing it. It's what
Yeah.
we've done for years, right? Or newer within the last 4 or 5 years, trenchless repair, sewer liner. When you're talking to a customer about the benefits of both, what do you talk about?
So a big one for customers now is you don't have to dig up your yard. So that's huge as far as sewers go. Not every pipe's a good host pipe for it though. So it kind of situation by situation. Usually I tell people like if your pipe's good enough to be lined, I would line it because in the long run, most of the time it's cheaper than digging up your full sewer. Even if the initial price isn't, you're going to pay more for landscaping in the long haul. And then secondly, you don't have to dig up your yard and it's one seamless piece. So even if we dig up your sewer and replace the full thing, you're still going to have fittings there and you're going to have a couple sections of pipe. If we line it, it's just going to be one piece from inside the house to outside the house. And underneath the foundation, that's like one of the biggest pieces that breaks usually. And if we can sleeve over that, that's going to be best case scenario.
Yep. And have you had a lot of? I mean, I know you've sold a lot of
Yeah.
liners. You sell a lot of them. From a customer standpoint, do you get a lot of good feedback on the liners?
Yeah, people love the liners as far as one seamless piece from inside to out, not digging their yard up, especially with this season coming up. Nobody wants to dig up their fresh mulch, stuff like that. And then the lifetime warranty is huge for people. People love that.
People just don't realize what it's going to be like when you dig 8 feet deep,
Oh, yeah.
4 feet wide in the middle of their yard.
Yeah.
It's like a war zone.
Yeah, it's bad. Like we got one today that's 12 feet deep. So
Yeah.
luckily we're doing hydro excavation, but
Yeah.
bringing all that dirt back is going to be a lot. So
No doubt. No doubt. All right. So as we wrap up, you got any stories, anything crazy that's ever happened to you? Like any wild trade stories?
Not that wild, honestly. I mean, I feel like everybody's got like a crazy story of something that happened to them on a job site or something they seen. Like the weirdest thing I've ever ran into was like an old guy when I opened the door up, as far as like knocking on the door when I first meet the customer and they open the door up, is like the dude was just like a big dude sitting there like in his underwear, like just like old guy. You could tell he never leaves the house. That's the only weird thing I've ever seen.
Yeah,
as
that's a
far as
shock.
that goes.
Man, it's funny how I asked that question to everybody on the podcast. We've probably had like 4 or 5 people talk about like naked people answering the door.
It's weird how comfortable some people are.
Right.
Like with people. I don't know.
It's crazy. Yeah. Well, hey, man, I asked you about the value. I mean, I see you be the names of value that comes to mind for you.
Yeah.
You're always happy in here, smile on your face. You're a guy that when you walk in the door, people are happy. You are a jolly guy. When
Try
I
to be.
think of what a jolly employee should be, you're that guy, man. So I know you're young, you're getting after it, man, but I'm ready to work with you a long time, man. I know that we got a bright future, so it's good. Thanks for doing everything you do for the company, man. Thanks for being on.
Thanks for having me here.